Morning, everyone. This is Rajendran here, joining from Market Calls, and welcome everyone to daily market commentary and live trading room. So, here in today's session, we're going to see something interesting today, at least something which is happening on a news base, like some attacks on POK, right? So, military attacked POK and one more Pakistan territory, and the market reacted negatively. And interestingly, you can see that the price took down the AB power law, and the point of control precisely at which is a kind of a weaker reference. Right? That has been taken out, and so far there is no serious selling is happening, but just still prices hovering around the previous day high. It's just moving crisscross. It's going in and out, in and out, in and out, right? But if you look into yesterday's action, right, you would have seen many unfinished auction levels, right? So that one of the primary reason it motivates me to enter into short, right? And at the same time, I also covered my shorts, thinking that maybe we could think about re-entering later. But from the order flow, what one can see is that the first candle was an volatile candle, volatile and a positive candle as well, right? So the volume transacted was closely 12,926 levels, and at the same time, if you look on the if you look on the what if you look on the here, right? So 6223 lots, 3,000 lots, 1,886 lots. Volume was significantly decent in the morning, right? And what else we have? It looks like kind of a big buying activity, right? So maybe in that case, what one have to do is that go and get some longs over here. So we'll be adding some more to the longs here. So, not this one. Probably I was thinking of adding 10,900 call. Current month series. I'm already holding some. Probably I'll be thinking of adding a couple of here. Maybe let's say another. Right, so let's see how it goes. Okay, so it's kind of a trapped buyer at the day low. So maybe one of the good players to initiate some trades. Typically, a mean reversion towards the towards 10,806. That also puts back the price into the AB power low, back into the previous day's range. There is one more AB power low over here. Price was pretty close by. The difference is hardly 2 ticks away from there. But yes, some good volume came in, right? So it's an immediate buy. The way you look into the pattern itself, you'll be able to understand that it's an big volume happened at the bottom. So a lot of zeros over here, kind of an exhaustion lows, kind of stop hunting, right? So that's an immediate long. What kind of strategy it is? It's more of an trapped buyer kind of strategy. The high volume got trapped at the day's lows. Typically, price tend to move towards where? Typically, price tend to move towards 10,805 levels, right? And if you look at the Bank Nifty, I think Bank Nifty haven't broken first 1 minute low. It made an first 1 minute low, and then it made an inside bar. And so far, price is still struggling to take down the day's low. Still, the day's low is not taken out, whereas Nifty it had taken down. at the same time, it also taken down with the 10,608. So and my level is pretty clear. Anything down below that, it's an exit. It's a clear exit over here. So at times, if there is any big quantity is there, just go and check your charts. I mean, look at charts, ensure that big volume is there. So Nifty, typically a 1 minute chart, we'll be able to see that. It's some okay, maybe Nifty volume will not be able to see because it came at that particular price level. Maybe here. Right, so that means here this particular candle. Okay, anyway, it's a new candle opened. So primarily my stops will be at the day's low 10,887.75. If something is going to go wrong, I'll be mostly cutting off my position. As a scalper, I don't even fight with them. So a lot of it's turning out to be kind of an inside bar, and so far still see that 10,698 level. It's still holding up. So my brick size is 40 for Bank Nifty and 20 for Nifty. So how about our Bank Nifty order flow looking out? Volumes are good. 14,000 lots got traded, which is pretty decent, I would say that. They took the day low. And again, some big lots got traded over here as well. See that? Some 3,000 lots traded over there. But the day's low is 4,731 lots, which is not a good sign. 3,000 lots got traded over here. So maybe a temporary bounce back, but the way they are making the low is an unsecured low. They might return back later. Any break, I'm going to close my put trades. So most likely, when looking into the profile, maybe poor low. I guess they most likely they are coming for an AB poor low. I guess it's still weaker. Letter P started now. Is it both AB poor low got a clear? It seems. I don't think so. Okay, that's maybe poor low, so I have to think of closing the trade over here. So I'll just try to cover my trades. I'll let us square off all my questions over here because it's becoming an AB poor low again. I don't think even if this AB poor low, it's going to hold. So it's an AB poor low. It usually rarely holds over there. So it's better to close the position because most likely they're going to break down. And moreover, this again, the AB poor low and AB poor low is getting a weaker low. Again, this is also having the odds of breaking down. Okay, so its activity started building lower, which is not a good sign. And if you look into the Nifty, it's still a weaker low. So more odds that it could come and break. It's an AB poor low. The one which I found today also AB poor low. Yesterday also still an AB poor low. So more odds of downside risk. See how mechanically they went. And moreover, if you look into the yesterday structure here, you might find something interesting over here. The letter J period. Look at the J period low, the J period low, and I period low. The 2-day high, which is also previous week high. So it's also previous week high. Somebody bought exactly from the previous week high, right? So again, so these are the signs which motivates me to take an yesterday's positional short. So the INJ, the letter INJ, look at that. Exactly one tick above the letter I has been bought, and again letter J exactly from the previous week high. Somebody is buying. Most likely they are trading money. So what sentiment here? So what we can do here is just give me a second. Yeah. I think one more setup I would like to talk about in Zeal because Zeal is showing some interesting patterns. So let me add Zeal over here. Zeal. Last couple of days, something interesting is happening over there. Right, we call that as a double momentum auction reversal. Right, so we talked about double momentum auction reversal possibilities of Zeal holding a double momentum auction reversal. Anyways, we'll talk about Zeal tomorrow as well. But what I'm thinking here is that if at all the day high is going to hold, right, it could become an potential reversal zone. So I'll add Zeal over here. I'll go to instruments. I'll add Zeal. I don't think Zeal is there in my list. I've been watching Zeal for quite some time, and Zeal is looking like a kind of an potential top pattern. Still, it is not confirmed. And maybe it could be confirmed if the day's high is not taken out. Right. So it's in a C. It's okay. Apply. Point 0.05 Indian rupee and exchange is done. So apply. Okay, I have to map the symbol. So I let me map instead of mapping current month symbol, I'll map it to next month futures. Right. So I'll bring. Okay. Anyways, I'll bring current month futures on Zeal G19 hyphen NSF. Right. That's a e-signal format. And of course, if you are using an AMI broker format or if you're using an true data global data feeds, you don't need to add. Automatically, it gets added. So go to new chart. I'll get for Zeal. So what I'm getting here is it's not a continuous contract. It's a non-continuous contract, which it brings only February contract. Right. So month ends, I have to add a new symbol again. So here is Zeal. Still, the pattern is not confirmed, but somewhere there are possibilities that it could turn into an potential pattern. There it is. Bell market profile. So TP size I want to use 5. Most likely I want to remove the volume profile numbers and apply. So one of the levels, watch out for this level. So you see this level, it's pretty close to the point of control, kind of a weaker reference, we can say that, right? So probably 405 could be one of the potential target. And so far for the day, it forms an exact test around, not exact test, but it's kind of an AB poor low. Let's watch out for this. Price is traveling in a 4-day balance. 4-day balance. So 4-day balance, most of the time it brings interesting arts. So this balance has to be watched out because most of the time price has been spent trading in this balance. Anything getting out of the balance have the odds of testing towards. All we need is an breakout from the balance and acceleration. So probably the potential lookout one can think of is 10,405 levels. So a lot of point of control. Point of control yesterday is also a point of control. A lot of short-term buyers played the game in the last couple of days. I think the AV pole has been now broken out. Again, now more the liquidation is still further continuing further down. One of the key reference level again here, there was an what double distribution. So price is now traveling down below the double distribution. This is again still not a good sign. Volume flow is good at least. So it is moving down with a news-based event. We tried some longs over here that haven't worked out. It turns to be kind of an AB poor low, so that makes me to get out of my position. It's a 2-day low breakout. It's a 2-day low breakout on the liquidation. So mostly short-term liquidations happen, and it's happening. and they're about to get a 3-day low as well. So 3-day low also broken out. So this is a liquidation. Mostly the short-term players who are entering long are just getting out of their trades. How about zeal? Zeal is most likely to get down below this balance. So short-term sellers onboarded. It's short-term sellers because it's kind of an AB power low at the highs. And you can see that. So kind of in short-term sellers, and then price is shooting down. I mean, disclaimer, I having some positions over here. I initiated some shots in ZD positionally. I think most of the UL levels got cleared almost. The UL levels on the downside got up clear, it seems. All the levels. Almost the one which was pending for last 2 days, all the levels got clear. Same thing here. High volatile candle. Lot of flow. Volumes are pretty good. It's almost 7,000 lots, 7,000 lots, 7,000 lots coming in. Volumes are getting huge here. So maybe some higher time frame participation is here. Definitely, this is not short-term players coming and playing the game here. So some short-term, some higher time frame is panicking, right? So maybe which is not a good sign. The volume flow is steady. You can see every candle, at least since the morning, it's the volume flow is steady. Again, so it's so far going down like a rocket. So most likely a structural damage has been done from last 4 days of session. Just one day it got taken down. Almost. So you see the way they're coming down, it's fast and then fast. So it's mostly liquidation. The whole money is covering their positions. I mean, mostly the old players who went long, and they went long too long. They are mostly covering their positions. Again, most likely Nifty, Bank Nifty is about to near this zone. So there are, you see the zones here. If this zone has to be more watched out. If this zone is going to broken, then it brings more vulnerability because more lows are crowded over here. So more stop loss could be in this band, right? So this band, again, price is nearing this band. When this band is going to break, the people who entered over here are going to panic. The people who entered positionally over here in this band, right? So they are again nothing but short-term players. You can see there is a priming point of control over here and a kind of a double mechanical reference over here. A lot of structural anomalies over here. So a lot of short-term sellers, a lot of short-term players are there. Okay, so maybe we need to look into this particular zone. Again, price is reaching the zone here. Breaking down this zone could be vulnerable. Again, we are pretty close to 60 points down. Anything down below that, it could lead to some sort of a massive stops getting triggered, right? So if the price is traveling in the zone, it could bring more and more sell off. So far it's a 3-day low breakout and price got back into the range. Again, days lows are not good. Days lows are almost having some 400 kind of lots. So 4,400 lots are there means even if the price bounce back temporarily, they will come and get it. I mean, for almost 450 lots got traded at the day's low. Coming to the 50 lows are fine, which is better compared to Bank Nifty lows. It's forming an inside bar. The selling volume is really good over here, almost 12,000 contracts of selling. The fresh shots is not recommended over here because if at all they're going to recover, a lot of single prints got created, right? So if any, if at all any recovery, they might go till 10,780 levels. So if somebody is taking a long here, it's kind of a momentum auction reversal, right? So again, day low has to be a stop for scalping purpose because there is a lot of single prints out there. 3-day low breaking out, and then if at all any good 3-day low breaking out, again they will come down, again they will do activity. Again, another 4 minutes, the C period is about to start. Yeah, but most of the levels got a clear, right? So, which is good. But remember that there is only one more level over here, 10,900, which also have the odds of testing it out. So, still, I prefer not to initiate any positional chart. I prefer initiating positional chart when that 10,900 has been cleared. In that case, again, we'll rethink about the inventory. If the inventory went long to too long again we'll come for shorts. Inventory went long to too long because yesterday there was a priming point of control, poor low, AB poor low, AB poor low with a peacock touch. So I haven't initiated any. I mean, even this fall, there was a fall. Opening, I given up somewhere around 10,800 levels, and then I haven't done anything. So there was a crash with mostly liquidation. Old money got out. Now, what I can say is that there was a momentum auction reversal at the day's low. And typically 10,900 is one place what one can still expect. So I'm not doing messing up anything as of now. Yeah. It formed an AB power low initially, and then they broken. They broken 2-day low. They broken 3-day low. B period created a lot of single prints, right? So then B period created a lot of single prints, and price started back into the 3-day range. It's still not a. It's still a kind of a weaker sell off. We can say that. At least they will rotate initially towards the center of the range, towards 10,780 levels. How about Prime Nifty? It's just a temporary bounce back, but eventually they will come down because this level is not a secured one. Maybe second half or so, we need to check are they after rotating back, like are they willing to come down again or not? That's what we need to think about it. But as of now, I'm not thinking about any serious selling at this point of time. I'm not initiating. Even if there is any huge crash, I'm okay to miss the huge crash. So that's the kind of mindset I'm coming to today's markets. So I'm not doing anything crazy as of now. So this is a balance I want to watch out. So I'm just watching positionally over here. There are a couple of double mechanical reference that stops has been taken down. And day low, you see the day low, somebody took exactly at the open. And the day high is also AB poor high, day low is also exactly at the open. So traders are playing this game in today's session. They're mostly traders. See, if you're seeing something vulnerable, you should have that mindset to step away from the game. Okay, now the C period would have been started. So where are we? C period. C period, you see that still some sort of a single print is there. So mostly they might attempt to go and close those single print zones, those intraday single print zones, right? So around 10,770 levels. Typically around C period or D period, the market might find to go and close those levels. Because not every day market A period, B period, and C period, it keeps on tripping down and down and down. Even if there is a good downside activity, first they will tend to do something here, and then they fill the gap, do some activity, and then they'll do more activity on the downside. And lately they might go down. That is a good sell off, right? Again, this guy, we talked about the zone here. They still came to the zone, tested the zone, and bouncing back. At least in Bank Nifty, there are no much of single prints, but in Nifty, you can see a lot of B period single prints there. In Nifty, there are a lot of B period single prints. Yeah, all the sessions are getting recorded, and in fact, I uploaded to Vimeo a couple of sessions, and some of the sessions requires editing because there are a lot of background noise who are generated. So I'm just editing. It's taking a bit of time to process it. Otherwise, I'll be mostly posting it in a day or two because it's 3.5 hours of editing and reprocessing. It takes almost 8 hours to reprocess. So I need one more day's time, and you'll be getting a mail to access all those live recordings of the session, the current session, as well as the what the theory sessions. So let's watch out this clearance. So I'm talking about this clearance of these zones. So you see that intraday it looks like a kind of an anomaly, but there are a lot of B period single print zones. Those kinds of single print zones rarely stays intraday. The gap is getting wider. I mean, the space between the B period is getting wider. Now we'll see the single prints are a little bit less. Mostly they come and clear those single prints. As a good auction happens, when there is such kind of an emotional sell-off, what they will do is that they go and clear those single prints, and then they will do something later on. They might be doing again. They might be coming lower or coming higher. Maybe another 10 points more. All those single prints got a clear. Yes, in the meantime, we'll look at the flow. The flow is coming steady, almost 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, 3,000 volumes. Right, so the flow is good. And I said Bank Nifty always have the odds of coming down because of this. The day low is almost 400 volume. So maybe an intraday pullback, but maybe always they have all the odds of coming down. So one should be play accordingly. And moreover, there is kind of an stuck seller over there. So maybe a temporary bounce back. The temporary bounce back may go as good as the VWAP levels, but always these levels are kind of vulnerable levels to revisit back. Again, Nifty again 10,775. It also again closes the VWAP levels. Still kind of an ABC balancing in zila. What I'm thinking of doing here is see so towards almost at the highs. Couple of ticks more. So this kind of setups you can find it. This is one of my one of the intraday strategies we teach in TradeZilla. Like whenever that kind of emotional sell-off is happening, those single prints usually get a clear. And there we go, some 3-4 ticks. The single prints is about to get a close. And There you go, 2 more ticks, we are done. And 1 more tick left. It's closed, right? So now you see that there are no single prints. If you look closely, there are no single prints over here, and which has been repeatedly observed in Nifty, Bank Nifty. Then there are this kind of emotional liquidations, right? So and then market will do try now. It will try to do something next. Probably the same case you might see in that it could be a possibly touch of the VWAP level as well. It came pretty close by, but not much yet. Yes, now the market will try to continue the auction in whatever the way it want to do. I don't have any opinion on that. Still, if you look into the order flow, so there are a lot of big volume happened over here, and so the low is still not a secure low, I could say that. But from an intraday perspective, I don't know. But from a positional perspective, I will carry forward this reference, right? From a positional perspective, I'll carry forward this reference. But intraday perspective, yeah, we may see a complete recovery also, because I don't think a market will just like that keep crashing because there is some few bombs and that too unknown sources, right? So I don't think so. Going short, one have to be really lucky here, and I mean, especially now one coming shorting fresh. I'm talking about most of the cases. Very rarely, yes, there are the bad news happens, and then all of a sudden liquidity crisis happens, and then market crash. But that's very rare, and that possibility, I don't want to take the possibility. Especially, I'm seeing in Nifty futures 10,900 levels are there. Right? So I'm okay to miss the opportunity. First of all, if there is any crash is going to happen today, I'm okay to miss the opportunity, but I don't want to get stuck. If I'm going to make a shot and then I'm going to get trapped at 10,000, price comes back to 10,900 levels, which is very high. I don't want to do that, right? So, yeah, I done some money on shorting in the morning. I mean, yesterday overnight, I posted here as well that I went short. Which I closed at the opening itself. So there are reasons I also posted why I'm just thinking of going short over here. So some of the cases which I'm telling that why the inventory went dangerously long. So these are two AB poor lows and one poor low, two prominent point of control and one weaker point of control touch. So almost out of all these levels, now only one level is remaining. That's fine. But that's how. So the end result is what? The end result is a liquidation of all those players. They panickingly liquidated because the news came. The news came and all those short-term players got liquidated. So even if the market has to go long, right? So even if the market has to go long, then most likely the weaker hands market has to shake out all those weaker hands, and then it keep moving on the upper side. So on the upper side, now we have this level. Yeah. So my comment is like I'm not getting into shorts. Right? So I'm not getting into shorts. Still 10,907 POC touch. POC touch we call this an RP POC, right? So RP POC is out there. So I don't want to get into any mess up as of now. I'm okay to miss if there is any bigger crash. So that's my comment for the day. I don't want to because many times we had seen that. So these kinds of extreme emotions hardly hold, and very rarely it turns out to be an complete sell-off, right? So I don't want to take any possibilities over here. So we looked below the 3-day low, and then we got back in, and now price is holding above 2-day low. So this is 3-day low and 2-day low. So that's how a trader you are. Like you went long at the lows, and you've seen that single print got a close, and probably you got that VWAP touch is done, and you should be out of the game. And of course, there's a MR, but I don't know why the MR signal has been generated. So it's a long candle. Volumes are relatively good. Almost 12,000 lots got traded. Next bar is an inside bar, and that is a positive candle. And the end reaction is to test towards the VWAP. Okay, so it's dangerous to short. That's what I can think as of now. I'm not seeing any immediate threats as of now, unless maybe positionally there could be. That's what the volumes are shown over here. The volumes over here are shown that maybe temporarily bullish. That bullish can go as high as possible, maybe even till towards 10,900 levels. But as of now, it's vulnerable to be in the shorts, right? So as simple as that. Yeah, as always, it's always okay to miss some good opportunity on the downside. Fine, we can stop the session here, and I'll try to provide you the recordings in a couple of days or so. Right? Thank you. Thanks for your time. And yeah, the trading room will be running. Maybe it will be very volatile day. So since there are news-based events, so the institutions might be pressing on both the sides. So the bigger liquidation came, and now we are back above 2-day high. So point of control is also building above 2-day high, which is not a good sign for the sell-off. Right. So if there are any small opportunities coming in, one can think of if even if the prices start coming back into the previous day's range, then there are more odds pointing towards 10,900 levels. I'll be watching it, and then I'll be taking a decision if if I want to take a short trade. I'll be watching. I'll be asking myself 1,000 times myself before should I have to get into or not. So instead, I prefer instead of shorting Nifty, at least I prefer some other instrument to short. Right. So that's how I will be prepared. Nifty, I don't want to short because I am seeing still at that 10,900 as a threat. It's okay to miss one good opportunity with this. I'm just keeping myself in mute, and all the questions we'll handle it in the Slack. Right. Thank you. So I'm going to run. It's tough to run Bank Nifty for the day here because it's very congested. So I'm going to run Nifty. But yes, day low, it's an MR, but the MR is not shown up yet. But still, it is an MR. As per me, it's an MR. It's a high volatile candle. The candle range is almost 45 points, and good volume. A lot of selling happened inside, and there was a kind of a trap buyer is also there. 1,300 quantity inside that, and prices. The next bar made an inside bar. A kind of an initiative to initiative drive. That's what we can see now. The delta is getting positive and positive and positive. So yeah. So thank you. I'll be on mute.